hopefully that is it, and hopefully that worked. I guess we'll find out in a second. Matty P, how you doing?
Great, mate. How are you?
I am tremendous. All right, I got a notification. We're live on YouTube. That's a good sign. That is a tremendous sign.
That is a great sign.
Um,
And you're definitely on
Twitch?
Twitch as well, which is great.
Oh, goddamn. I think this might actually get a good run for once in terms of like...
Twitch as well, which is great.
Oh, God. Which is, yeah, fantastic. No buffering, no lost frames. Just nothing but smooth sailing from here.
You're not having to have too many issues. That's all right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll do it like a regular podcast, and you go a little bit about yourself to start off with, and then I guess we'll get into it. Talk about some games first.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, howdy everyone. My name's Matthew P, and I'm the drummer from Hands Like Houses, and I also enjoy gaming and all that fun stuff. Yeah. I've been mates with Josh since year 7, which I don't even know what year that was. It feels like 50 years ago.
I want to say 2012, but I know that's probably not right.
No, I think it's 2007.
It's probably 2007. I don't know why 2012. That's way later. We finished like college in 2012 or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Something
so
ridiculous.
we've been best buds for forever.
For quite a while.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, we can discuss the other stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much me, I think.
That's it. Just a drummer and a gamer.
Simple boy.
How is the music going, man? Well, you guys are back at it soon, right?
Yeah, we were. We have a tour booked, but unfortunately, we don't know what the state of the tour is going to be like due to COVID and all these little hotspots popping up around Sydney and Melbourne and stuff. So we're just keeping tentative on it and seeing what happens.
I see that you guys have sold out your Canberra show. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. And then so we added another show, but again, just who knows what we're going to be allowed to do in like
that's right
2 weeks time. Yeah. So
no, that's mad though.
Yeah. So we're hoping that it all goes well, but we're not entirely sure.
You guys are gonna have to do that big ass drive around New South Wales. You're gonna have to drive down to Melbourne, into Adelaide, up to the border of Northern Territory, and then into Queensland. What a tour!
Yep.
Just
a van, a trailer. That's it.
Just a couple of blokes bloking it up.
Tell you what though, the drives in between like northern New South Wales to Queensland are absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
It's like the worst section of Australia to drive, in my opinion. There's just nothing in between. It's beautiful, but there's just not much to do.
I don't know how to work this website at all. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Yeah, it's boring. I remember doing the what was it? It's like Canberra to Jindabyne to Adelaide to Melbourne.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Another classic.
Like the
classic leg that you just go.
The hate. Yeah, it's just like why did I be in a band?
Why is this even happening? Yeah, this is a shit idea.
And you guys are doing Full Tilt? 12th of June, Eastern Hills Outdoor and Ballroom.
We are, yes, we're doing Full Tilt. We're also going to be doing a couple of other things possibly, but I can't
say
away too much.
You can't say.
Yeah.
Big stuff?
Top secret.
What are we doing? How big are we talking?
Excited.
The biggest stuff?
Hopefully just some more
Blink 182 tour.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Coops the guitarist would fucking cry if he knew that we were going to go on tour with Blink. It's his favourite band.
I think it's just like one of those like Melba Copeland favorites for so long. You know, I
Oh,
think every
100%.
I was talking to Stu about it the other night, and it was like um it was one of those like even when that Blink 182 album came out, it was like one of those like sort of like it crossed into like the gangster kids. You know how it was like these like really definitive groups of emos, and then there was like punk kids and nerds, and then there was like the gangsters. I think that Blink 182 album was like the one that was just like everybody fucking loved it. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like a nerdy, you know, group of people like in pop punk. I guess it's like they stopped singing about poos and peas.
Yeah, they matured a little bit more.
But even that album's it's still got traction now, you know.
Yeah, 100%. The thing that I enjoy seeing is like kids these days. I say that like I'm a fucking old
Like
dude,
in
but
yeah,
kids
back
these
in my
days,
day, yeah,
yeah, like I know that a lot of people be like, oh, Blink 182 wasn't like punk. That was bullshit punk. It was punk for us when we were growing up. So a lot of kids these days that are like growing up listening to Blink 182, I'm like, oh, they're just not getting the same type of Blink that we were getting when we were growing up.
that's the thing. Like I said, it was I think it was like an era defining album. It was this
Yeah,
considering when you look at like where Blink started, it was like at the back end of was it like grunge, like Nirvana type stuff. It was really like the back end of it.
yeah,
And to like come off the back end of that and still be going what like 20 years later, like it's
yeah,
insane. But I guess it's like when you look at say Linkin Park. Like Linkin Park was one of those bands that like they matured and everyone say. I don't
yeah.
know. How would you feel like as a band just doing Ground Dweller for 6 albums? You know what I mean?
Oh, it'd be yeah, it'd be
Like
fucked.
that's it. We're still touring Ground Dweller.
Like that's the thing though. You can't write the
Wish I-
same album fucking 6 times, 4 times, even 2 times. It's like, I mean, look, there are definitely bands out there that that write they use the same sort of system because it works, and
yeah. It's that
like
it's
good on them.
yeah, good on them. But I don't know. Like it's one of
But
those
it
things.
doesn't.
Like being in a band was like even like that short stint that I had in it. It's fucking stressful. Like
Yeah,
that, not even just the like the writing and doing it. It's that in between, like you said, those the long drives or the flights and the whatever, like fill in the blank. And then to try and write a new album, like you can kind of guess why people get stuck in that same sort of like cookie cutter. Like if I just do this at work last time, like let's just get it out. But imagine just on stage. It's like going to your 9 to 5 every day, doing the same thing over and over and over again.
yeah. There's definitely like with every band, obviously there's like the favorite tracks and like the ones that blew up or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, you can't like you get on stage and you're like, oh fuck, people want this. Like when you go on encore and you have something planned, and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, so we're just gonna play like an older track because people love it and this and that, and we're like, okay. But
Yeah.
when you're playing it, you're like, yeah, that's sick. Like we enjoy people singing along, but as a band, you're just like, man,
It's like
we
eight.
feel we've got better songs out there that we enjoy playing more.
Yeah. I guess
But
that's
yeah,
the hard part about it, man. It's like it goes into like a necessity over passion. You know what I mean?
yeah. There's,
Like it's
I
like you
mean,
kind of
there's,
need to play it because people want to hear it, but like and it kind of
yeah.
digs into the passion a little bit.
That's why
Sorry.
you've got to pick and choose. So festivals are primary examples of when bands will have like their biggest hits, and they'll throw in like a couple of classics for all the people that are there to see them.
Yeah.
But then on like tours that don't have like that big crowd, don't go over, nothing can go wrong sort of mentality where everything has to be perfect for that 30-minute or 40-minute slot, whatever you're playing on the festival. When
Yeah.
you've got your own time and you can do that stuff, it's you can throw in a few old ones, but generally then you're wanting to promote a lot of the newer music that you've written or you've been playing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. It changes with every sort of show and whatnot.
What are you guys doing in terms of new music, man? Like, what is your...
Well, originally, so we released the EP, and that was originally supposed to come out as like one whole thing, maybe releasing like 1 or 2 tracks, and then we had a few different ideas for it, and then due to COVID, we decided that we would then change the way we have to roll out our music because of how everything's going and all the lockdown. We're like, well, shit, we can't play. Like, we'll release an album, but it's not going to be the same because once we do that, we'll lose traction. So we've got to release it in a way that makes sense. So we sort of like trickled out the songs bit by bit, and
Yeah.
Trenton put a whole sort of theme together and had some visuals, and we were discussing how we were gonna sort of have it as like a complete piece of content with the visual, the song, and then some sort of like video clip that goes with it. So yeah, so we sort of did it chunk by chunk to try and stretch out as much of the release as possible.
Yeah, it's a shit time for anybody, especially in the arts, man. Like, I can... It's like, here's your livelihood, and no, you get rid of it. It's taken away. And there was like no supplementary income for you guys. It was just like, I don't know. I think the arts are still seen as like passion projects. You know, get a real job.
Hobby.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that sort of mentality. So especially with the older generation, I guess it's like, why would you want to be in a band? It's like, because it's what I like doing, rather than fucking working in a job for 30 years that I fucking hate. Yeah, I'm gonna do something I enjoy.
Yeah, and like the thing is, you meet a lot of people. They find a real sense of community in shows, whether it's a festival or whether it's a one-off show or whatever.
Yeah,
People go there to have a good time.
yeah,
Everyone's there to see the band. Everyone's there to sing along to their favorite song. Like, it doesn't matter, even if they're not there to see us, or if we're supporting someone and they're there to see like the main band. The fact that they're hanging out and wanting to watch us, whatever the situation is,
yeah.
people are there to feel safe, to be, among common folk that are there for the same reason.
I couldn't agree more,
And
man.
and so when a lot of people rely on live music to be, they're like Friday night with the boys, or a girls' night going to see, whatever it is, it's like when you can't have that, even though Australia doesn't really have that many shows going
No,
at once.
it seems to be like less and less as well, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that they'll drive into the ground and then fucking regret it, like immediately. It's like, as you're saying, it's like, what's the alternative for safe space for people? Now it's sort of forcing everybody to just go into one big group. Say like the cities, or like in Sydney, everybody goes to the casino, and you got to think it's like that volatile mix of people that don't necessarily see eye to eye, and then mix with booze and drugs and whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the alternative, rather than leaving these spaces open like shows and stuff. Where it is safe, like everybody knows why they're there. Like there's no like, oh, like I'm just here because this is the only space. It's like I'm here because like I want to be here and I like this band and we got common ground with everybody here because they like the same shit.
Yeah.
But
That's the thing. A lot of people that have come to our shows and seen us in some way, shape, or form have then, and I'm only using us as an example because I can talk from experience, but it does happen with other bands as well. Like a lot of the people there will meet each other at the show and then become like best buds outside of our band and stuff. So
yeah,
they'll go and hang out and have lunches and talk about their favorite song, or talk about like whatever it is. It doesn't have to be about us, but through the show they've met each other and like been able to really enjoy like a social life outside of that, and the way they connected was music. So it's
Yeah.
powerful, and so taking that away from people, but having 50,000 people at State of Origin in a fucking
Yeah, that's fine.
stadium.
Yeah.
No, it's totally cool.
Just because, sorry, I'm just chucking up some of your things that you posted. Yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
it's fucking insanity, right? And I think they boil it down to like such petty things like insurance. Like we're not insured
Yeah,
for it. But I remember the last, I think it was Soundwave that I went to. It had nothing to do with insurance. The guy was a tight ass. I remember like there was no water, there's no sunscreen, there's no shade. Uh, it's like I don't know who's jumping on these bandwagons to get gigs going and then cutting corners to make a buck out of bands, and then like the bands see nothing on the back end of it either. You know what I mean? It's not like you guys are fucking billionaires compared to the guys who are like, what's that AJ dude worth? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the guy who
yeah,
bought fucking every festival, fucked it and bounced.
yeah. I can't remember the exact. I remember hearing some sort of something like on the down the road, or whatever the saying is, like on the Great Ocean Letter. He capped the arenas. So say for example they held 20,000 people.
Yeah,
They capped the arena at like 13 or 15,000 or 10,000, whatever it is hypothetically. But
yeah,
he capped it lower than what it could do.
yeah.
And people are like, why wouldn't you fill the fucking thing out and then actually make more money and be able to pay these bands?
Pay the
what they're
bands because that was a big issue with him, right? He just wasn't paying people at the end of it. I believe.
Yeah, I
He'd
think
pay.
he was picking and choosing the bands he was paying.
Yeah, he'd
I
pay those
think.
like big ticket dudes and then sort of skimp on like the sort of middle and lower bands, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I remember hearing something about like the like not local bands, but like the Australian bands that didn't compare to like Metallica and all those other bloody.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't get anything. The middle tier bands would probably only get a portion of their agreed guarantee, and then
How crazy.
yeah. So
And like
apparently,
in one
when
of
it
those
finished,
like
he owed a bunch.
yeah, that sort of like a legal sense of the word. It's like once again the bands are left with nothing. It's like what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you pursue a dude who literally just made, whatever amount of money off each show, and he's like, we're not going to pay you, and you're like, well, we kind of needed that money. Yeah, you know what I mean? So even if you were to get paid
Yeah.
what's an average rate for a band, say, for one of those festivals, say like 10 grand, for instance?
Probably. I reckon anyone that could probably pull like 500 kids in
Yeah.
Australia would 500 to 1,000 would probably have gotten like a $10,000 offer,
Yeah.
maybe. But then internationals would have, they said their flights and hotels and everything was covered by
Yeah.
Soundwave, and then their guarantee must have been like at least 20 to 30,000. You would assume.
Kind of, but I think it's kind of like it's not reasonable, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I guess
imagine
the other thing you got to take
paying
into consideration is Australia's currency, like versus America or something. So an international act will come in and go, okay, if they're offering us 50K, it's only really worth like 20,000 US or whatever it is. So it's maybe not that much, but they get to see Australia. They get to get flown over, and apparently a lot of the international bands, when they did the Queensland Soundwave or something like that, they had an agreement with the koala sanctuary up there to be able to go take photos, and that was like that was a
is
thing.
that is that some of the payoff? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
the whole like, look, we got this amount of money, but what we'll do is like we'll sort of throw this in there to sort of sweeten the deal a little bit.
yeah. I mean, the music industry is a fucking
Like it's always based off instead of paying them, like let's barter somewhat of a trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll
Like
try and put a bit of sugar on the top.
come,
And see if they agree.
come pat a koala, and we'll pay you $2,000 to come out and do a show. You know, split that like $500 between all of you. Pay for your own flights, get your shit over here, and then we'll work it out from there.
Yeah.
But you get a sick photo with a koala, and that's realistically that's what every American wants, right? It's like
Yeah, I mean, koalas are cute. But
they're
don't
cute
pay
as hell.
bills.
That's right. They're not putting food on the table. That's fucking
And I mean,
crazy.
the worst part, I feel like bands are doing it tough for sure, but it's made a lot of bands have to to learn how to like write. You know, Bring Me the Horizon are a prime example. They're
Yep.
located all over the UK, and they said that they had to switch out how they were going to be doing writing and sending things to and from and whatever.
How have you guys found it?
I mean, we've been doing like a little bit of writing. I know that the boys have been putting together some like acoustic versions of some songs and getting things ready. It's been pretty good.
Yeah. So sorry to
Yeah.
cut in. Before we get into this part, it's like how do you guys write it? Like, what is the process between like your band? Is it say like Coops comes up with something and then Alex or whatever, and then it sort of gets filtered down, or is it just like anyone comes up with an idea and then it gets thrown into the pot and then you build on it?
It's definitely whoever has an idea throws it in the pot, whatever sort of sticks.
Yep.
We sort of work on if we're vibing, but Alex does a lot of the writing. He puts a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
Joel will do a lot of the writing. Coops will do like a bunch of writing as well. Everyone's at a slightly different level of being able to produce music, but like the fact that you can put an idea together. Like we used to use Tabit. You remember Tabit?
Tabit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those old like
Dun, 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 yeah, that 8-bit like music, those old video games, those like Alex the Kid type ones. Yeah.
I'm trying to make it like damn it.
Yeah.
And then you'd fuck up one note, you have to start all over again.
And to wipe it, start again.
Yeah, it was like, so that's how we started with Ground Dweller. And I think even going into Unimagine, we were doing stuff like that, and then we're like, why don't we start using proper stuff that sounds better? And then so we've changed from going from that to using Pro Tools and or Logic, mostly Logic, but because everyone uses Mac, so it's just easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all started from there, and I mean, I'll show the camera.
Here we go. Little MTV Cribs.
Yeah, it's not very...
Like a little drum pad.
So yeah, I've got the mouse for the laptop, I've got the drum pad there.
Little keyboard. Look at that. Little
so
guitar.
there.
Yeah.
So
you just do all of that.
And yeah, when I do like drum mapping and stuff to get an idea down, it's a bit hard, but
You're like,
to get the idea,
and they're just fucking thrashing things. Yeah.
Two fingers to replicate 2 legs and 2 hands.
Yeah. That's right, man.
Makes it interesting. But it's but yeah, it's still good. It's a way to be able to get an idea across and then go from there. So everyone sort of puts in a little bit of an idea forward, and then that just sort of stems from there.
Yeah,
we've still got a lot of like B catalog songs that didn't make a cut, or that we were thinking are good enough, but doesn't necessarily fit the whole idea of the songs that we have chosen. So we're just sort of...
What are you guys going to do with those? Are you just going to...
Trent's spoken about possibly having like an EP or something that has all the B-sides. We've also spoken about maybe having like a hidden track or something like that. Like, they're things that have happened before.
Yeah, bring those back. Everyone loves a hidden track, man.
Yeah, like a 10-minute track, and then
right at the end,
7 minutes it starts. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, we've sort of pondered the idea, but there's always like deadlines or tours that then come up, and then the priority has to shift. But we're going to be getting back into writing more new music now.
Yeah, right. How are you guys finding like the change from like traditional like I guess going out and buying CDs and such like that to streaming? Like how are you guys dealing with it?
I mean, like the money that the band slash even record label gets is like I believe it's a lot smaller. There was something, I think Drake was the first one to when subscription services were a thing. He was like one of the first artists to sell X amount of albums through a streaming system. But I think there was something like 16,000 ish streams to an album sale.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah.
yeah. So whoever came up with the algorithm, I don't know what they were trying to get with that, but 16,000 streams of songs versus one album sale is not. It's not right. Like I think
It's crazy, right? It's like
0.06 cents
yeah.
per stream. Something ridiculous.
Because it's one of those things. So, like if you're Drake, like the dude's a machine anyway.
Yeah,
he's always going to get jammed to the top. You see his face on every single like. You know how they have those like R&B and it's Drake, and then it's rap, and then it's Drake, and then it's this, and then it's Drake. You know what I mean? And like you get it from that point of view, but like as a small band, like imagine getting 16,000 plays to sell one album, like that's horse shit. Like
yeah, it is. It's made it tough for the industry. Like everything, the issue with that though is like, what can you do? There's nothing other than like rolling with the punches and learning how everything works. Like you just have to adapt.
So there was, I forgot who it was. I think it's like SoundCloud rappers who jumped over, right? They were doing like I guess 6ix9ine is probably a good example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Writes a 2-minute song. That's it, because it's short. It gets his plays up, and I think it's just in that minute and a half, 2 minutes where it's just short enough where you can go, I just want to listen to it again. And it doesn't take like a great deal of creativity to come up with a song that goes for a minute and a half.
Yeah, you've sort of captured the best bits of the song or whatever.
That's right. It's like I'm just going to do a verse and a chorus, and where like sort of just put a beat on either end of it to do an intro and an outro, and that's it. And that's what's like cranking up their plays. But for a band, like imagine you guys just going, all right, we're only going to make minute and a half songs now. That's all we're doing. Like nothing else. Like that, you can't do it. What's the point of being in a band if you're only going to write a song that goes for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, for example, now with like TikTok and even Instagram, where you have the 1 minute cap.
Yep.
Some people will either write a song and then like Jason Derulo with his like TikTok songs.
Yeah.
People make a dance to it, or it has like a cool rhythm, and then bang. You don't even need. It doesn't need to be streaming on Spotify. It gets played on TikTok and
that's it. Yeah. That's. Do you think it's taken like people's attention away from? I wouldn't call it like actual music's probably a bit of a steep slope, but you know what I mean? Like, is it?
I think it's.
Or do you think it'll bound?
Way.
Yeah.
I think it's like everything that I hear about TikTok is that it's like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, app at the moment, and part of me goes, Jason Derulo was famous prior to TikTok, but then his songs, due to I don't even know which song it is, but one of his songs like cracked it in TikTok, and then all of a sudden, bang! He became like one of the biggest artists purely because of the amount of people that
are on it. Yeah.
I guess we're using his song. So you don't even need streaming platforms now to host and have your song there, but then you can use it freaking anywhere else, like on an ad or do whatever, and things can get pretty big pretty quickly. So I don't know if it's necessarily taking away from music, but it's definitely adding like another avenue to be able to show off your music or your dancing skills or whatever your editing skills. It opens it up, but it's like, I think it's good that they give you the ability to use music like that. The shit thing is, for example, like when we want to stream and we want to have, like, if I want to play a new song, or if you're in a band and I wanted to fucking play your track in between loading, in between games or whatever, like, you can't. But then people can use it on TikTok and all this. And you just
Yeah,
go,
how
"Please,
crazy!
come on."
Like who creates these rules where it's like
Yeah.
certain things you can do and certain things you can't? Like
Yeah.
it's fucking insane. Would you guys be against people using your music for like say Twitch or whatever?
Absolutely not. I think if people like our music and they want to support us or use our music for something, like, by all means, like, do it. If it brings you some sort of joy and you want to, I don't know, like, we're okay with it. But unfortunately, when you're signed with a record label and you have to jump through hoops and legalities to be able to play something or do whatever, it's like, just because we say yes doesn't necessarily mean it's okay.
Yeah,
There's just a lot of hoops.
there's too many. All right, I got some Spotify top artists of 2020. Latin star Bad Bunny ranked number 1 for the first time with 8.3 billion streams. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's like, how do you compete with that? I've never heard of Bad Bunny, and this dude has, I'm assuming it's a dude, 8.3 billion streams. Is it just one song though? Can I play your song? I don't think I can. Maybe we can get a little bit in.
I think as soon it might.
Okay, I've never heard that song in my life. I think there's like a weird rule where you can use 8 seconds of somebody's song without it. Oop, that's the wrong screen. Without it impacting, I don't know, without it being, demonetized or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There you go. It's some fucking streaming, man. I don't know. I think it's, like I said, I think there's going to be a weird transition from like, not transition, but the same similarities between gaming and music soon. I reckon there's too much money going into like gaming, just like there was in music. Like there was like ridiculous amounts. It's just like labels got onto music super early, and they're like, we could just make a ton of money off people and give them nothing. I think like gaming might go the same way. When people are making 500 grand a month. There's going to be there's going to be people who are going to jump in there and go, I want a piece of that. Like I want a piece of that 500 grand.
The fact that, I mean, for example, like for that example, being Ninja with Red Bull and being one of the dudes that just fucking cracked it, like, good on him.
Yeah, but, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's that in Fortnite, and then all of a sudden, people going, oh, they're playing tournaments and you can earn money, and you can play a tournament from sitting at home rather than going out to
actually
like
doing
a
something.
place and playing like LAN gaming like you used to and stuff. It's the fact that you can make money in a not so traditional way now is like very appealing to people. Because this day I saw a meme. There's a bunch of Instagram profiles that I follow, but like one of them said, to put it simply, wealth is not calculated by houses and cars and all that other shit anymore. Wealth is calculated by how much free time you have. It's how, if you're making a shit ton of money and it's not necessarily having to go to your 9 to 5, then you're doing great. You're winning automatically because you're able to do your work when you need to, which is whenever you want, and then outside of those hours during the day or the week or whatever, you can do whatever you want. So, why wouldn't you? Who wouldn't want that?
But I guess that's right, man. It's, I don't know. Even when people talk about like even Ninja, for instance, 500 grand a month. It's like you got to look at the dude himself. What do you do with 500 grand a month? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
obviously, there's people out there making more money, but what do you do
Yeah.
with it? Especially when your
Yeah.
job is sitting at home for 8 hours a day playing video games, and then it's
Yeah.
like, look at the person he's become. The dude's a flop. Like, he's very bitter about certain things. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Every time I
I
hear
can
him,
I
sorry, you
can
go.
sort of understand where he's coming from in the sense that, like, look, he's the type of guy that, you know, you and I went to school with. Like, look, when I say nerd, I don't mean it in a derogatory way. Like, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm
Yeah,
techie. You know, I love gadgets and gaming and all that sort of stuff. You know, some guys are like motorheads and they love cars and
yeah,
whatever you want to use
yeah.
as a
But
tag. But the he was like a nerd growing up, and he had his little quirks and like his funny little bits and pieces. And again, and it's not in a bad way. Like, people have that. And I think he did slog it out, and then the fact that people give him shit for it after, because it's not like he became famous overnight. He sort of,
he slugged it out, man. Yeah,
yeah, he played games prior to Fortnite, and then when Fortnite came along and that started to blow up, that did really, really well.
yeah,
And from then he just sort of gained momentum. He got better, and people, I think part of it is maybe jealousy.
yeah. Like,
but
I
like,
understand. I understand the bitterness. Like, it'd be hard sitting at the top, man. Especially when you've been sort of. He did grind through it, but it was a fairly rapid like it was one of those like slow starts, but then it just like it sort of took off.
It may have been a right place at the right time sort of situation.
But I think this is the thing, man.
Likely.
It's like I don't know. I'm assuming most famous people go through it. You know, most people who have a lot of attention and especially dealing with like that amount of money, man. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who you'd be like, all right, you're making this. If you do this for say 2 years, I'll give you 500 grand a month.
Yeah.
Right? They'll do the work, yeah, but then how are they going to handle it? Like you look at all these other famous people, like you put a rock star in the same position. They kind of go to shit. You know what I mean? Like I think it's too much for him to handle, and I guess he feels sort of isolated, in a sense that like who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to talk to?
Yeah.
And then who are you going to talk to who doesn't want something from you? So you kind of get it, but
Yeah, it can definitely get to a point where you're like, oh, why is this person being nice?
and like I think it's him being like the first one. Like he is the first one to ever do this well. You know what I mean?
I think Red Bull, like esports or whatever it is, I think he was the first, like, legit e-athlete.
Yeah, that's right. It's
So yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough because there would be a lot of like judgmental people being like, oh, he plays games and he earns more money than me. And it's like, yeah, he does.
yeah,
Good on him.
that's right. It's just I think the only thing I don't like about him is he does flex the money a lot. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. I guess it's like a confirmation bias. When you look for something, you're gonna find it, and it's him just like yelling at kids, saying like he's gonna buy their house and burn it down, and you know what, like just stuff like that. And you kind of like,
Yeah.
I understand why he does it, but I think it's like
Yeah,
as a
he doesn't have to go to that extent.
as a role model of the sport, especially being the first one, you kind of need to. But I guess there's no reason for him to change, right? It's like, why would you change if it's working?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those situations. It's working for him, like you said. He's making a shit ton of money. On top of that, I don't know if he uses Hyper or if he uses, you know, whatever his brands are, and then Adidas and like all these other companies. Yeah, they just give him money, and he's like, right, I'll rep you.
Yeah. To be fair,
turn you into a bit of a wanker, but
I'd be the same. I'd be a straight up
It's part of his
wanker.
job.
I'd be a straight up wanker. Somebody's like, Josh, I'm going to pay you 500 grand a month to do this. I'd be like, all right.
flex your Adidas trackies,
Yeah, that's right.
used and stuff.
Yeah, like as if you wouldn't. I think it's like human nature, right? To just once you start to feel a bit of power, it's impossible for it to not go to your head. But then, like, I don't think it's like go to your head in such a negative sense. Like I said, I think him being a jerk is him not knowing how to deal with what he has, and then sort of like lashing out at it, and then once again
I think,
not being able to relate to anybody, and
yeah,
then lashing out about it.
yeah. I think now that the fact that streamers are becoming more and more popular and successful, like Nick Merckx and Tfue and all them, whether they've got like grudges or if they're best mates, whatever. But like now he's probably finding a similar level, or people at the same sort of like wavelength to be able to balance it out. But I think it's also, when you're that successful, you need to have people that are humbling, that keep you in a place where,
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah, where you can still be you if you come from humble beginnings, and you can sort of, yeah, just chill out. But then again, like, there are people out there are fucking massive musos or massive actors and actresses that are doing great. They're the nicest people ever, and they've got everything they've ever wanted, a ton of money and fame.
I think that's the difference between the ups and downs, right? Like, you'll find people that can have it and handle it, and they keep themselves grounded, and they keep it for a long time. You know what I mean? And they stay in whatever industry they are for forever.
Yeah.
And then there's people who get it and abuse it, whether it be from, I don't know, like excess spending. Like that's probably the biggest one. A lot of people, when they start to make a lot of money, think they're always going to make a lot of money. And then with that, there's an attitude. Like there's something like, I don't think it's the money. I think it's the fact that you can own things. Like that changes people's mindset, like this possession type thing. So this is why I think all of his rebuttals to things are like, I'll buy it and get rid of it. It's not the fact that he had
much, like the power.
Yeah, it's that ownership type thing, and that's what fucks people up. Like, look at Ellen. You know, Ellen, all the money in the world, was just a bitch, and now everyone's like, "You're a bitch. We don't like you anymore." You know what I mean? But then you kind of look at it from her perspective, and it's like she has a lot on her plate. You know, she's employed a lot of people. She's going to be cranky sometimes.
I think there's two ways you can look at Ellen. Again, I've like never met her. I don't know her at all. So this is purely off like he said, she said sort of stuff. But I remember I followed Kevin Hart for a while on Instagram, and he was like sticking up for her, being like, she's one of the most wonderful people in the world, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she could be. Maybe these people, maybe she has a standard of work ethic like Elon Musk. And it's not that, he's just very driven, and he needs the people that are working for him to be at the same sort of level, which is fair enough.
It's very fair.
Successful. So maybe it's that, and maybe the people that she was working with, I don't know what actors or actresses said that she wasn't nice, but then again, maybe because she isn't nice, she gives away a bunch of shit to the people in the crowd because she doesn't know. She's like, oh, well, I better just
to make up for it,
materialize something, and be like, oh, here's a free car. Don't worry about me being a bitch.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, oh yeah.
So there's a really famous. It's not famous. It's notorious for Joseph Stalin, right? He was in front of like a group of, I think he's generals or whatever, and he plucked a chicken live, right? Like pulled all of his feathers out, put it on the ground. Obviously the chicken was in like heaps of pain, and then he fed it, and the chicken followed him around because he was feeding it. He was like, "You can put people through whatever you want, as long as you give them something nice at the end of it. They'll always follow you." So that's maybe what Ellen's doing.
Yeah,
she's out there like, plucking chickens every day, but then giving people cars, and everyone's like, "We love her," you know.
Yeah, we're bald and we're fucking going through a lot of like pain, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's it. Just fucking.
I get to drive to and from her work with a car.
I got this car that I couldn't afford to start off with. That's why I didn't buy it. That's why I didn't buy my own. But thank you. Apparently that happened a lot with Oprah. She used to give a lot of cars away that people couldn't afford to pay. So they just got repossessed anyway.
Yeah, okay.
By Oprah.
Fucking classic, yeah. She's like, you never owned that car.
Yeah, it's mine. You're Oprah's bitch. Anyway, back to topic, I guess. What are you going to do with your gaming? What are your plans with it?
Mate, I don't know. I would love for it to be a thing where I come back and forth from tour, which again I don't know when that'll happen, but having something where I can just come back in and like Maddie was saying, she goes, if you're going to be gaming every night with the boys or whatever, like you may as well stream, you may as well get people involved and come in and hang out. And so I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. So I would love for it to be a thing where eventually, if there was money to be made from it, sick. If there's not, it doesn't matter. Like you're there to game and hang out. Hopefully have some like good moments where you can get some good snipes in or do whatever. I don't know. It's more about being present in another way.
Yeah.
That isn't streaming. That isn't touring or whatever. Plus, it's like a different side of me that people will mention when we go on tour, and they're like, "Oh, are there any?" When there's a meet and greet or something, like, "Oh, are there any gamers? Do you guys like this or that?" And then usually the boys are like, "Yeah, Matty's the gamer.
He's the nerd."
Yeah, he's the nerd. He's the guy. So I think it's a good way to be able to connect with fans or friends to just, it's not like back in the day when you and I used to get fucking 4 cans of Red Bull or V or something and then just stay up all night.
That was like the
Need for Speed
like
on one TV.
Need for Speed. Yeah, that's right. Playing like what was it, Fear? Like
Fear?
like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, yikes! Yeah, it's terrifying the whole way through. We got some highlights. I'll chuck in some highlights here. Popular clips. Quick snipe.
Yeah, so it's
that's
just one of those things. Just being able to hang out, and it's just another way to be social without having to be on tour or whatever.
I think
whoever wants to be involved.
I relate it a lot to music. Like I like you said before, it's like it's just common ground. I think the amount of friends, like even look at like the Canberra group and whatever. It's like slowly growing, and it's just like people just with common ground who we just like to chill. You know what I mean? We can all hang out, but there's no stress. There's no like nobody fucking like. There's no threat of anything. You know what I mean? We're not going to run into people who don't share the same interests we do, and it's good. I enjoy it. I enjoy it for the social aspect.
It's a good way to like unwind. Like you said, you're there to enjoy it. Maybe playing Warzone isn't the most enjoyable experience every day. But
it is not.
But it's there to be played and to like just enjoy with your mates.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's great. It's a great way to connect in different ways.
What games are you into at the moment? I know what games you're into, but other than say Modern Warfare, instead of what else are you playing at the moment?
Definitely Assassin's Creed. I've been streaming a bit of that.
Yeah.
And I got a new game. What is it called? I think it's on Steam. I need to load it up. I think it's Godfall or something. It's like another. I love story games.
Yeah.
I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love being able to like The Witcher 3, classic game.
I'm starting to enjoy them more. I think I enjoy them more on PC, whereas like on console, it's more like first person shooters and driving games.
Yeah.
Whereas now I think you got a bit more like, I don't know. I think it runs better. You just invest a little bit more time. You're a bit more comfortable at a computer rather than, trying to get comfortable in your lounge for 6 hours. You can sit in a decent chair for a while.
Oh, for sure. It's it's fun. It's fun playing with the boys. It's fun going out there and clapping heads and doing the usual. But in saying that,
it's fun to kick it by yourself.
Yeah. It's like all of the Assassin's Creeds I love. Tom Clancy, like Wildlands. That's a fucking classic that we should probably do again one day.
Yeah.
Greedfall is the game.
Greedfall? What's it about?
Greedfall. So it's sort of where is it? It is on the same cusp of The Witcher. So here it says engage in a core role-playing experience and forward to destiny in a new world, sleeping with magic, filled riches, lost secrets, and fantastic creatures. So it's like there's various. It's set in like the 1800
18 whatever's. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just you going around being a badass. It's sort of like Dragon Age and The Witcher, sort of together.
I think that's you got to venture out. Like I enjoy the fact that the PC has like free games every so often.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of see why like people just get bunkered down into like all the only games that I had for like the first 3 months were first person shooters. And like I said, it's just because you can't play driving games, so you just get bunkered down into playing the same shit. Like, there's not a lot of difference between all of these games. So it's good that like I think for me, like PC sort of provides like a better window to other games. Like I downloaded Jurassic Park the other day. We just built it's like The Sims, but you just build a Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but I love it. I reckon it's gonna be fun, and it's like you said, it's something you can just sort of kick it yourself, and you don't feel like getting sweaty and trying to be competitive. I found myself when I was playing lots of Call of Duty, like at the start, I was getting so angry, and it's really bizarre getting angry at a game. You know what I mean? This thing that holds no impact on your life, and you're getting mad because you're not winning at it. Sorry, I'm watching one of your video clips, and I watch you just shoot a mine and blow yourself up. That's quality content.
Yeah, all about not making the good plays.
Just getting some numbers up. How many bullets can I get out of my gun? Are you playing today? What are you doing? What are your plans?
Yeah, I'll probably jam a little bit. Matty and I might go do a quick little last minute shop, because back at work tomorrow. But then yeah, I'll be down to jam some stuff.
Yeah, mad.
Might even stream.
Ooh,
but yeah,
little cheeky.
Yourself? What do you have for the rest of the day?
I don't know. Well, I think what are we doing today, man? We're going to figure out paperwork.
Oh, paperwork.
Just
classic.
A bunch of papers. Yeah. And you got to
classic Sunday sesh.
Got to work it out. All right. Well, I think we've done an hour. I'm comfortable with an hour. I'm going to see if I can upload and change some stuff. See if we can get get it on other platforms.
Yeah.
But thanks, Matty. Is there anything you want to say before we bounce? Any plugs? Is that what people do in podcasts? Do they plug things? Do you have a book coming out? If you got a book coming out, it's probably a pretty good time to.
Yeah, I'll start writing one now.
Memoirs of Matty.
Yeah.
Right. So
it'd be one of those short stories.
I don't know what just happened to my camera. I just went out. Yeah, it's just 8 pages.
Yeah.
Play drums, play video games. The end.
Yeah, Muppet said to plug him on Bare Bones Gaming, so yeah, we should probably plug him. Muppet, you're a legend.
Muppet, you are number one. Everyone check out the Muppeteer.
Yeah, but no, I appreciate you having me on here, and
it's good. Hopefully, I enjoy this. I think I'd rather do this than stream video games. I got Stu and Kevin on next week.
Yeah,
Big Stu and Kev. Yeah, have you seen the stuff that they're doing?
I've seen like some sort of video trailer thing.
Yeah, I'll tag you in some of that. I'll tag you in some of their stuff. It's classic Stu and Kev.
Okay.
it's bizarrely brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're the two, like in the nicest way, weirdest dudes, but brilliant at it at the same time.
Yeah.
Send
me a link or something, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll do it. Hold on, let's go through this really quick. Happy New Year, Fire Giggles. Brenny said your new album is good.
Thanks, Brenny.
Thanks, Brenny.
Legend.
Maybe next week title later Shakespeare. Ducky came and went. Matty P's in there. Love to know how well the AFL and NRL rewarded you for your final cameo. Your finals cameo, rather. How did you guys go with that? What was the
Yeah, we pretty much just got promoted through their streams, through their plugs.
What better promotion, I guess.
Yeah, it was good, and we got some free footies and stuff. So it was more about the experience than anything, but it was cool.
Brenny's put up Sorry,
they
you
were
go.
very welcoming.
That's
very,
good.
Very, nice people.
You got some your merch thing there. Merch now. .com /catalog /hand forward thingy
finals.
like forward thing houses. Yeah. I think that's about it. I think it's all good. All right, Matty. Well, I'll jam with you soon, man. That was good. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
keen to do it again once we start to get a bit more traction with it. But all right,
Sure.
all right, legend. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody, thank you for watching. Cam, thanks for the sub. It's 3 months. Jeez, settle down.
Good on you, Cam.
We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by.
All right, see you, man.
All right, catch you, bro.